Hey guys, what's going on? All Hail King 9 back with another Call of Duty DFS matchup breakdowns and kind of my lineup picks for the Sunday of the New York Home Series Call of Duty event. Now, before I hop into this, I usually do FanDuel and DraftKings, but at the time I'm recording this, it's Saturday night, so I can, get this ready for you guys for Sunday. DraftKings, their contests aren't open yet for Call of Duty, so I'm just going to be making a lineup here on FanDuel, but I'm still going to be going through the matchups and breaking it down, and you could translate that into DraftKings, just kind of with the advice I'm giving in this video. So, just kind of start off for talking about for Sunday. But before I talk about Sunday, just talking about a little bit about Saturday, about a little bit of how I felt that it went. For me, it was one of my worst days playing these Call of Duty daily fantasy sports, and I think it was just the first time since I started doing this that I wasn't able to actually profit off of it. Just a super weird day for me. I had the players I had were pretty solid except for I had the Saints in one, and that series just screwed me over a lot. The Los Angeles Guerrillas versus Paris Legion, because I had Los Angeles in many of my lineups as the team, and of course they were beaten by Paris Legion, and it was Paris's first win in like 3 months. It just so unfortunate. And but it is what it is. You win some, you lose some, and we're gonna move on here on Sunday and just forget about that and try to get back on track for the final day of this New York Home Series event. So with that said, we're just gonna hop right into the matchups and start breaking them down. All right, so the first matchup we're finally getting the Atlanta FaZe versus Chicago Huntsmen series. I don't know if you guys are Call of Duty fans or you just play daily fantasy sports, but for me, this is a super exciting match. You get to see these two powerhouse teams, and yeah, I'm really excited to see this. And it's also a great has some great opportunities for fantasy sports, obviously. And all right, so for the FaZe side of things. My MVP is actually going to be Abizi. If you guys have been watching, he's been the MVP of the entire event by far. Not even just for his team, but the entire event. Has the best kill death ratio right now through these first 2 days, and it is so impressive what he's doing because he's a submachine gun player. And this meta is totally favors the AR players, but it doesn't seem to be affecting Abizi at all. He's playing out of his mind right now. Definitely the best he's played all season. You could see 161 and 151 in these 2 days of the event, so I'm definitely going to have him in. I think this is an amazing spot for him too against Chicago because their submachine guns have really been struggling with this new meta, and I think Abizi is really going to be able to take advantage of that. And this should be a good series. I think both these series for Sunday will both be very competitive. So yeah, I think Abizi's definitely a great option for an MVP spot. Uh, the second player from FaZe that I would take, Simp has obviously been great. The only thing is that he's the highest price player by $300 from Mac, but I don't want to pay up for that 10,200 price. I'm gonna go with Celium. He was. It's funny to say struggled because he still put up 112, but he wasn't popping off as much as the other FaZe people were in on that Friday matchup, but he bounced back on Saturday for sure. Looked a lot better on Saturday, and I think that's going to carry over to the championship Sunday. So I'm definitely going to want to have Celium in my lineup. Now for the Chicago Huntsmen, I think this is it's kind of difficult to pick from Chicago because their series on Saturday against the New York Subliners, nobody really popped off. It was kind of a collective team effort. Nobody really stood out too much. I think that obviously Formal's always a great pick because he's just such a great AR, and he does play the objective. He had 109, but if they're gonna get over that 100 point mark, that's gonna work for me. I think that he's a pretty safe pick because of the role he's playing, kind of that slowed down AR that's gonna stick to the objective. He's gonna have a positive kill death ratio, and I think that just he's a safe pick in my opinion. I think I'm definitely gonna feel comfortable having him in my lineup. But the other pick that I'm gonna have, I've been going for Arcides these first 2 days, kind of burned me today didn't reach that 100-point mark. But so I'm gonna go away from Arcides for Sunday, and I'm gonna go to his twin brother Pristini, and Pristini with this new meta, he's been able to pick up an AR, and it's really benefited him. You could see the difference from these first 2 days compared to all the other events he's played. Him having that AR in his hands is just game changing for him. Honestly, it's really helping Huntsman out. It's going to continue. I think it's going to be the only way that they can beat FaZe, even though Huntsman's S&Ds have looked incredibly good. They haven't lost one this whole weekend, so maybe they could steal the series from FaZe. But I think Pristini's a really big X factor for the Huntsman for that Sunday matchup. So yeah, that's kind of like gonna be the value pick of this lineup that I'm gonna have for Sunday. I think that you can't really find a better player at around 7,700 if you look here. I mean, maybe Classic. Kleenex still being so cheap. You know, I wouldn't be opposed to targeting Kleenex. Obviously, you could see he's putting in the work. He's another submachine gun player that you know, he's still been able to play very well in an SMG role, even though these ARs have been so dominant. So I think Kleenex isn't a bad option, honestly. If you wanna take him instead of Pristini, you're gonna have a little more wiggle room picking some of the other top players as well. So with that being said, I'm gonna move on to Toronto and the New York series and talk a little bit more about that series now. All right, so for this Toronto New York series, it's very interesting because we're gonna be seeing either Ultra or the Subliners in the finals, which I don't know if many people really expected coming into this tournament. And for the New York side of things, I think that I'm definitely gonna be sticking with Mac. I've been doing it very like all the time recently, just because he's so damn consistent. Like it's incredible what he's doing. I say it in every video I feel like, but he's so good for a rookie, and I'm gonna keep picking him. This should be a pretty good competitive series, and he's just been so good. I mean I can't say it enough. And in this final spot, we only have $14,000 left. We still got to get that team. I'm gonna take Cammy from the Toronto Ultra. Now, I really like what I've been seeing from Cammy. He's really good at S&D, but he also has that potential to pop off in the respawns, and he's been playing really well with this new AR meta. And I think that Methods is obviously the main AR of Ultra, and most people usually lean on Methods because he's perceived as being one of the top ARs in the game, which he is, but I feel like he doesn't have as high of a ceiling as Cammy does, just because Cammy's more an objective player with also the potential to pop off in the slaying department. So that's how the players are looking right now, and it's going to come down to the team. And the team, it's just such a tough decision. We have the max for the 5,900 that would be for FaZe, but it's really a toss up in my eyes because, like I said before, the Huntsmen have been so good in S&D, and they're one of the best hardpoint teams in the games. They haven't lost an S&D this weekend, and I could easily see the Huntsmen taking the series, and I can easily see FaZe somehow pulling it out in a game 5 because they always seem to do that. So I can't really. It's so difficult to really choose one or the other because I really don't think it leans one way or the other. In the other series with the Subliners and Ultra, I think the Subliners may be a safer pick. I think that's probably what I'm going to go for. I think the Subliners have looked really good. Ultra has looked pretty good as well, but I feel like the Subliners respawn game modes have been a little bit better than Ultra. So I think I'm going to stick with Ultra here, but like I said, I really think it's a toss-up for any one of these teams. So, like, if you want to save money and you want to try to pick Ultra, I think that's a fine idea because you're going to be saving a pretty decent amount of money if you pick them. You could pick Huntsman, you could pick FaZe. I know it's bad. I'm supposed to be giving advice here and just saying that it's really a toss-up, but I really don't think any of these games are really leaning in one direction like too much. So that's really all I have to say about these matches. They're going to be really fun to watch as a fan of just competitive Call of Duty, and I'm hoping that I'm able to make some cash as well, and I hope that this video helps you guys. build some of your lineups for Championship Sunday. And thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for more Call of Duty content in the future. Comment any feedback you guys have, how you guys have been doing with these lineups, if it's helping you or not. Like the video, and thank you guys for watching once again, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.